another beautiful autumn day. We're having incredibly mild weather, and it's beautiful weather, and you know, leaves on the ground are just a wonderful thing to see. But I was in the car this week, and I heard some stuff that was just really sad. I'm aware, and I keep banging on, and if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I keep banging on about how long things are taking to run through family court and what the delays are in family court to get processes going and to get families back together. And you appreciate my view on that, and it's taking months, and it's taking far too long, and children are being penalised as a result. I learned today, or earlier on this week on the radio, that if you're an immigrant coming into this country and you're applying for asylum to try and stay here in order to be safe, and I have absolutely no issue with that, you've got two issues. Number one, there are 120,000 cases in front of you waiting to be considered. Number two, the current consideration time for your application is 480 days. 480 days before your application is even going to be considered, and that'll be because you're number 121,000. Does that suggest that we've got some capacity issues? I think it might. What else did I learn this week? I learned that I was listening to another little snippet of information. It was talking about hospitals, and it was talking about hospitals in one of the major cities of ours. And it said that all the hospitals in this particular city, and it doesn't matter where they are, but all the hospitals in this particular city have now opened food banks. And I thought, oh, okay, that's a terrible thing. That it's a shame that we have to have food banks in this country. In fact, it's a national disgrace that we have to have food banks in this country. But okay, they've opened food banks, that's great. It's for the patients and, for those who obviously are in need, and that's wonderful. It turns out that the food banks aren't for the patients. The food banks are for the staff. The food banks are for nurses who do a full shift and then have to go to the food bank to try and find some food to take home and feed their families because they're not earning enough. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? The court system is broken, the immigration system is broken, the energy system is complete lunacy. We've got people lying in the middle of the road in the name of something or other. We've got people throwing soup at works of art for some reason or other. What are we doing? What exactly is going on? And more importantly, perhaps, one, do we recognise it? Two, what are we doing about it? Because we're just breaking down, we're grinding to a halt. The system, across every region of society, the system is breaking down. Another piece I heard on the radio this week. There are people in Manchester and Leeds who are getting disciplined by their employers because they use the train to go from one city to the other. And because the train performance is so dreadful, they're arriving late at work, or indeed not arriving at all, and then they're getting disciplined for it. So if we can't provide people with the basic infrastructure for them to get to work, how do we suggest we're going to grow, as I believe is the current mantra? And the problem is that we have this grow agenda, but what we don't have is the capacity to cope with it. We don't have the infrastructure to cope with it. We are breaking down, and we need to kind of stop for a minute and recognize that. We need to stop and reset and work out what the hell we're going to do about it. We're in trouble. We are in trouble in this country, and we here at McKenzie Picave and at Daniel Picave Counselling, we're picking up the pieces of that and doing our best with it. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of organisations, who are doing what we do a little bit to help those along the way and to try and make society work a little bit better. But we're breaking. We really are breaking.
Thanks very much for watching. If you want to learn more about Daniel Picave Counselling, watch that video. If you want to learn more about McKenzie Picave Family Law, watch that video. And remember to subscribe, because 68% of you haven't. See you next time.